Just a friendly reminder that the opinions expressed on this show are not worth a Canadian penny, so disregard anything you hear that might get anyone in trouble. And despite some of the great ideas you may hear, don't try them at home. Go to a friend's house instead.
It's time to get a gun. That's what I've been thinking. Well, I could afford one. And if I did just a little less drinking, time to put something between me and the sun. When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Slamfire Radio. This is episode 611 for June 25th. I'm one of your hosts, Adriel.
I'm another host, Kyle.
And I'm another host, Dustin.
Looks like Kyle's on the road. Tony's technically on the road right now, too.
Yeah, he's actually on the road. Yeah,
on the road. Yeah.
I just got back from the road.
Oh, there we go. Dustin, why don't we start off with you? What have you been doing this last little while in guns?
Gosh, yeah, it's been a couple weeks since I've been on. And embarrassingly, I haven't done like a ton. I was just filling in those fields. I was in the land of the free for a little better than a week for vacation. Interestingly, not a shot was fired. But something really cool that happened while I was away. I got my approved 6 NIA form, so I can finally take guns to the States. There should be a little bit more of that travel this summer. But yeah, I think since I've been on, I think I went shooting once. I definitely did some gun cleaning because I cleaned up the workshop last weekend and I cleaned a couple of guns. And honestly, that's about it. I've been working quite a bit. I've been doing a lot of prop building, so it's been sucking a lot of my time and focus. What about you, Kyle?
Well, I picked up some mounts for my PCC for RMR to pick rail. So I had a cheap 45. Buddy had a cheap picked RMR, so put Fusion on primary. And yeah, gun store had a low mount Trigicon mount, so I was able to put that on the 45 for the Atom. And so I had that in. My PCC sucks. I was ready to sell it that night. But I decided to clean it. And it needed a cleaning, and it helped. But I'll get more into... I'm still kind of...
Is this the new one, or is this...
No, I just the only one I've had.
Okay.
Yeah, but I replaced the springs in the buffer, so got that roller delay back up and going, and tried to mount a Fusion to my open pistol, but turns out the mount, I have to buy a whole new frame mount for that. So that still got the Romeo 3. For some reason, I thought they had the same footprint, but they don't. So, and then, shot a local match on Saturday. Decided to shoot 2 guns. So I shot my limited pistol and my PCC, thinking, it's not going to go great. I haven't been shooting in a bit. And actually started off, and first 3 stages, wow, this is, it's like, didn't feel like I really dropped off. Like, yeah, still want to be better, especially driving the PCC. I felt like I could have been a bit faster. But things were great. I was making good hits, and yeah. Then we got to the last 2 stages, which of course were classifiers, and completely dropped the ball. It
was the pressure of the classifier.
Just
still B rank Kyle for life.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even shoot B. I think I didn't. They'd be lucky if they were D scores. So. Well,
trophy hunting. You'll get a trophy next time. Top D rating.
Yeah. Well, and then the last stage, the PCC completely crapped out. Like there was literally 3 paper and a popper on that one. I got paper, popper, and it was failure to feed and everything. And I just finally, no, it's done. This is so short that I just walked away. Basically didn't even shoot that stage. My score on that stage was last place. So that, and yeah, I figured, any chance of the match was done. But in the end, I ended up pulling out overall first with my PCC, and then overall third with my my pistol shooting minor.
Pretty good.
So I was actually ended up being pretty happy with that, especially how the last two stages went for me.
Yeah, I mean,
so
those are. I would be happy to have those, so that's not bad.
yeah, but like, I think basically that PCC needs to be spick and span clean to just run, because because it just started messing. It was ran great up until the last stage. It was still like, I still, if anything, gotta get a stronger buffer spring, because it would chamber the rounds, but by the last, like the first stage, well, of course, was unloaded start. So that I cost a few seconds on that one. I think I had a 9th place overall finish on that stage. But once I got going, it went good. So I definitely need a stronger buffer spring in there, and that might help alleviate, but didn't have issues extracting the last round, because before, like, I'd done shooting, unload, show, clear, I'd have to basically hammer that because the case would actually get stuck in the chamber. But whatever I did in my cleaning, obviously cleaned that out, because I didn't have to deal with that all match. And yeah, and it was dirty. Like, PCCs, they definitely got to be clean. But I'm still kind of on the fence on whether I'm going to keep that or just actively look to get rid of it, because I don't know how much messing around I want to do.
Yeah, if it's not, just reliably functional, is that the right one for you? I don't know.
Yeah, like, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I actually, one of the stages was able to use the offset, because it was basically a strong hand, weak hand stage. And actually, it would still take some practice, but it worked out pretty good. Basically, just going to my left shoulder and using my offset dot, picking it up with my offset dot, actually worked out pretty good.
Huh.
So I was messing around with it on the Friday night, just trying that out. And in the match, like, you still got to shoulder it in the right position, practice getting it there, but it's a lot better than trying to pick up something, try and hold it straight and pick it up on the straight vertical dot.
No, that makes sense.
So yeah, but yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it for me. I am on the road. I'm up in North Dakota right now, so
Lovely.
So yeah, but let's move on. Tony, what did you end up doing?
I didn't do much. I was preparing for the Rimfire Madness happening this weekend. As Kyle has pointed out, I still haven't removed the barrel clamp. I should do that tonight. For the New Age shotgun competition protocols, you should not have a barrel clamp. This came from the factory like this. I just didn't touch it. Cleaned the 822. Had to modify some files for 822 mag pouches. Those, after they're all modded and done and published on Thingiverse, will be public on our Discord server, of course. And, right. So, like half a year ago, on the show, I mentioned the idea of ITAR import, if you like either carry it yourself or you try to mail things to you. So I'm starting that project back up, as I may have family members traveling to the States. So maybe if I can understand and figure the whole thing out, I might try to do something.
Yeah, best to get your family members arrested. That's the best.
Yeah, or myself. Well, we'll see about that. But here's the minimum documents that is available to me. It's good in a sense where I don't believe there is a problem with importing it into Canada. considering I'm not importing prohibited parts, so to speak. Well, it really depends on how the border agent is going to say about it, because if I'm building a SPI LPC, am I bringing in SPI LPC parts, or am I bringing in AR, scary AR parts for auto?
It shouldn't actually matter. Like, there are no prohibited parts. They're just gun parts. Like, the only list of like prohibited parts is like the AR.
Would AR uppers? That could be a prohibited part. So
suppressors and mags and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, beyond
that's even stopping barrels too.
Are they still? Yeah, well, yeah, I've heard that they're stopping barrels, but
so, but yeah, so the research is still a little early. We're going to give a shout out to Richard, listener, who provided me a lot of the links to things. But my preliminary results are things have changed in the year 2020. And I'm thinking maybe that's why we don't have big discussion about it yet, because those years kind of hid themselves from the public view. And it may or may not be simpler than it was before. I'm just going to leave it at that for now, and hopefully we'll have a main topic on that. I wouldn't say this is the Slamfire way of telling us how to do it. I would say, here is Tony's research on it. Here are all the sources so you can go check it and you can make a decision for yourself. That kind of thing. So yeah, getting ready to go camp with Adriel. That'll be fun. And it won't be as muddy this time, hopefully. We don't know if it's going to rain a lot. But yeah, excited to shoot my first 3 multi-gun match.
There you go.
So I might do a report on that. Stay tuned. Who hasn't gone yet?
I haven't gone yet.
All right, let's go to Adriel next.
Let's see. I went to the range. I shot the guns you just saw me cleaning. Shot this Tokarev. I had a friend of mine out who hadn't shot one of those before, or muzzleloader, so I had the muzzleloader out as well.
Sounds like you're cleaning it way too late. Corrosive ammo. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Problem.
Yeah. Now, I shot non-corrosive afterwards, so the only bit that I saw that had a little bit of like brown tint on it was just a tip at the muzzle there.
That's just a little surface rust. That's all right.
I always wanted, but these things are so restricted in China. I always wanted like genuine Chinese field manual for the Type 56 rifle, the Type 54 pistol, and those things, because I can understand it and I can do the Canadian and the US firearm community a favor by translating them, but just the fact they're not very available publicly, which is unfortunate. I want to know, like, does it tell you every time after you shoot it you need to clean it? I bet it doesn't say that.
I bet it does.
Yeah.
They're militaristic about making their people clean the guns, because otherwise they get dirty and rusty, and imagine all the Chinese, all the Chinese ammo would have been corrosive.
Yep.
Right, but maybe they just didn't care that much. I don't know. 8 million produced SKSs alone in China. It's quite a few.
Did you say 8 or 80?
8.
Oh, 8. That's still a lot.
It's quite a few.
Yeah, getting ready for World War III. Never happened. Anyway, so I hit the range. I did a private PAL on the Saturday. And then this weekend I've got Rimfire Madness. So I've been doing some of the stuff on that. I got a good group of people who are helping with that. So they're helping with like stage design and all that kind of stuff. I have a matchbook I need to finish tonight and send out. It has some more details with what's going to go on at that thing.
And there's also Tony on the side. I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh my God.
Yeah. That'll be fine though. That will be fine. I think we're going to have a lot of that. And a lot of just, hanging out and have a good time. So that'll be the Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to go camping after that. And the weekend after, I have a Maple Seed in Vermilion and then a PAL class in Edmonton. Same weekend.
Who's the Pokemon trainer of that city?
Vermilion. I wouldn't know. Not a clue. Yeah. Oh, wait. No, I bought some stuff. I bought some stuff. I'll
What'd you-
show it when it's in. I'll show it when it's here.
That's fair. I forgot one thing that I did do. I'm pretty sure I've sold both two of my roommates on a couple of semi-auto shotguns, which was very funny. It was like I had just gotten home from our vacation, and they were like, "Show us some guns." And so we went down to the gun room and broke out a couple. And I played salesman with a couple of different shotguns because they were like, "Feel like we need some more shotguns." And one of my roommates, their room is just kind of off kitty corner from where my gun safe lives in another room. And so all of a sudden they hear just like just like all the gun noises, and they had a guest over. I didn't realize this. They had a guest over, and then they're like, is something happening right now? Like, so one of them like comes out and like, is the apocalypse on, or what's going on right now? Like, oh no, just selling some folks on shotguns. So yeah, it was very, very funny. They were like, yeah, we have a guest. They were very concerned. Like, yeah, because I had the pump action too, and that makes a very particular
They're
noise.
loud. They're so loud.
Everybody knows it, right? Yeah. So that was just anecdotally funny. Something that
of all the guns that I have at the PAL courses, the shotgun is by far the loudest. It's so loud. Yeah. Yep. Get into upcoming events. I got some maple seeds. They're up on the website. You know what I should do? I should make it so that we don't have a million maple seeds that are up there that have passed by. I should do that. I'm going to do that soonish here.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. I've got a PAL course coming up, not this weekend, but the weekend after in Edmonton, and then a bunch of other ones. There's one in Bonnyville coming up after that, and then I don't know. There'll be more. There's more in there. Find them at hggfirearmstraining.ca. Apex Rocky Mountain. Kyle, you want to talk about that one? We kind of talked about it last show, but
yeah, that was kind of main topic. But yeah, July 12th to 13th, and I guess on the 11th they're going to have the basically train up day with the props. Good, fun PRS match if you're looking to get into it or you're already doing it. Highly recommend, and it's in a beautiful area. So just go to apexoptics.co to get registered.
And since I have the Maple Seed thing up, I'm going to talk about it. Havelock in New Brunswick, that's June 28th. Also on the 28th is Blue Ridge Sportsman's Club. July 5th is Vermilion. That one's sold out. July 5th is also going to be Sackville in New Brunswick. 6th is going to be Kamloops, BC. 12th is going to be Tabor in Alberta. Also on the 12th is going to be LTV in Ontario. 13th is going to be BSSA in Bonnyville. The 25th and 26th will be North Peace Rod and Gun at Fort St. John. And then July 28th will be Rancho del Sol in Gordondale, Alberta. And I think that's long enough.
For all the nerds that were wondering about Vermilion, it's Lieutenant Surge.
Yeah. Gordondale. It's a big city, right? Metropolis.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
on all the
2
maps.
buildings, I think.
But I hear they got some good shooters up there. At Ontario, they've got some Rifle Association stuff. Head over to OntarioRifleAssociation.ca for that. 3-gun matches, head over to 3gun.ca. I think I've got most of them on there. Tony, you want to talk about the news here? You got a couple that think you added.
Yep. So a few good news stories coming out of Runkle's channel, Runkle of the Bailey. One of them is the recent case of the Ontario police or Toronto police specifically to let the gun owner who is trying to, I guess, defend his Lambo. Not the greatest idea in Canada, not gonna lie, but the police is like, yeah, just let them take the Lambo. It's fine. I think it's still a little early, but his interesting analysis is on the charges the police has laid so far, and that includes like using a firearm dangerously, for example. That's pretty standard stuff. I believe there is also charges for like using or possessing a prohibited device or prohibited firearm. So there's there's a little bit of speculation into if that may be a OIC firearm, if that.
It sounded like it was unauthorized possession because he was outside of his home with a newly prohibited firearm, right? Absolute BS.
Yeah, so that was the interesting one. CCFR update. We are heading to the Supreme Court. We have submitted the files for that. So, well, we'll see if Supreme Court, as Rod has mentioned, if they will take our case or not.
Okay, that was going to be my question: is if our Supreme Court works kind of the same as the states, where they basically have the option, oh, we're going to take it or not.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah,
I think in case if they don't take it, then maybe it will help their narrative for the 2035 gas vehicle ban.
Yeah.
So maybe they can also say, hey, these are prohibited devices now. You can't drive them. You can keep them, but you can't drive them.
Keep them.
Yeah, maybe they'll, I don't know, maybe they'll just crush them all. Yeah, that's also possible. That's
just a ban on new vehicles, though. You get to keep your old vehicles in 20.
Yeah, but you don't know. That's what they said.
Like, but then they ban the parts to fix the old vehicles.
They can justify banning the vehicles. I mean, any vehicle that any like normal sized vehicle can definitely be used to kill as many people as possible in the shortest amount of time. Just look at Vancouver.
Well, I just thought of something. We should ban electric vehicles.
Ooh,
they're very fast.
They're like a suppressor. You can't hear it coming.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that is extra dangerous.
They have very good point.
No, they
have noisemakers on them. They make noise even.
I think some of them you have the suppress button though.
At low
speed. Yeah, it's under like 6 miles an hour. You can't hear them.
Yeah. There's the news coming out of Argentina, of all places, where they're opening back, I believe, centerfire semi-auto ownership to regular civilians. So that's kind of interesting. I read slightly into the article that apparently the current leader of Argentina ran on that as the platform, which is a little crazy to me.
He ran on an extreme libertarian platform. He's an economist, a very libertarian economist. Their GDP is also up 5%.
Why couldn't our
pretty cool?
Lord, I see what you've done for other people. I just want that done for me. But like for Argentina to get here, they had to have like extremely bad government for a really long time before they're like, let's try this guy. Oh wait, it worked. Maybe we'll get more people like that.
I see.
More leaders like
Dustin is talking about Castle Law coming to Ontario.
Let me handle these ones.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So obviously, for anybody that didn't hear, of all people, Doug Ford talking about how we need Castle Law.
Why though, right?
Oh yeah, because they tried to steal his car and that pissed him off, which is hilarious. Oh
wait,
yeah, what? The same thing that happened with the Lambo. Some idiots rolled up on Doug Ford's house and tried to steal his car, but his house is protected by police. So they and I don't know if they caught the folks or not, but then all of a sudden Doug Ford was just right pissed off, and it was at the same time that the Lambo car happened, where that was like. Originally, when the Lambo thing happened and the thief tried to stop him and then he got arrested after he shot the gun, Doug Ford's like, well, I mean, you shouldn't really be shooting a gun up in the air, but like, we need some kind of Castle Law. Like you should be able to, we got to start a GoFundMe for this guy. And like, I got to start a fundraiser and for his legal fees. And he kind of walked a little bit of it back, but he all of a sudden talking about needing Castle Law, which is a real divergence from what his stance was like a year ago. And it's real funny how, the powers that be all of a sudden change their tune when things happen to them. I just thought that was funny. And then I don't know if anybody saw recently, it's come out that the Liberal government spent about $100,000 on I think it was Ips. Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember which polling firm or which firm it was.
What's one of the big ones?
One of the
for
big
sure.
ones.
Ecos or Ecos.
I think it was Ecos. I'm bouncing back and forth between Ipsos and Ecos, but I think it was Ecos. But anyway, the Liberal government during the election paid just about $100,000 to, I believe, Ecos to investigate how like the legal gun owners would feel about the firearms confiscation, and surprise, they came back that it would be a large it would be a largely unpopular thing. Basically, they found that gun owners, I should really pull it up, but that gun owners were unlikely to trust the government to implement the program. And they found that there was a likelihood of like 79% what's the word?
Non-compliance.
Non-compliance. Thank you. I really shouldn't just put the part. I was just writing it frantically. But anyway, likely to be a 79% non-compliance. I think that's low. And obviously, like everything that we've seen up into this point with the gun bans, you know, the whole reason they're using 12-year-old data for like how many guns they think there will be to be confiscated is so that they can kind of artificially inflate the amount of compliance there is. But yeah, surprise. They know that it is unlikely to be a successful thing. Oh, there. Thank you. Yeah, so that was really, really hilarious. And I don't know what this is going to mean. Like, I don't know if the energy is going to be there for this confiscation. I guess we get to see, because we're closing in on October pretty quick. And then finally, one other interesting piece of news for our American brethren. Looks like the ATF is going to be lifting their ban on parts kits with original barrels for import. So like there's a whole bunch of rules for when you're importing parts kits for firearms. There's been like a long running ban on importing the original barrels for those parts kits, which is often a very expensive component of building a gun. And that's going to open up a whole bunch of new parts kits imports for y'all in the future. So for all of our American friends, I'm very happy for you all. And
that's a bit of good news.
It's a big one. Yeah, it was a big piece of news.
All the AKs.
Yeah, the AKs especially, but there's also
especially when it goes along with another bit of news that we didn't mention last week, because it's U.S.
Yeah,
but the Short Act did get added to the big beautiful bill. So not only is it suppressors, it's now SBRs, SBSs.
Yep. I think the thing that's really cool about that is if suppressors really do become even more heavily adopted, right? Like, because there is like that barrier to entry for suppressors in America, even though you could get them, they're expensive and a pain in the ass, and there's rules. It was a threshold that kept a lot of people from owning them. If you have a lot of people owning that device, you normalize it, and that makes it more of a justifiable thing here in the future, right? And Rod Giltaca from the CCFR was talking. I was watching him on a podcast yesterday, talking about this conversation with Doug Ford, having a conversation about castle law being something similar, that he's getting kind of dangerously close to talking about self-defense as a right. And if we're having that conversation in Canada, then we have a conversation about what we can and can't do with firearms in Canada, and the justification for certain guns we're told there is no justification to own. So yeah,
wouldn't it be wild to get castle law before like self-defense is normalized?
Yeah. What a strange and interesting place Canada is.
Yeah. What do we got here?
We've got new gun stuff.
Gun owners won't trust the government. I think we talked about that one.
Yep.
ETF. Yeah, I think we got that. Getting into new gun stuff. Let me share my screen here. This one.
Oh my God.
That's a good deal on $35.
I put this in. I'm gonna warn the listeners. We're looking at the Savage Cooey Lakefield 64 20-round mags that comes standard on the Savage 64 Precision series of rifles. They don't generally work at the top 20-round mark, but it seems from I've heard from people on my range that around 15 generally works pretty okay. So 5 extra rounds.
This magazine isn't reliable and doesn't really work, but it kind of does.
Well, it's better than the 110 drum, isn't it? And at least in terms of pricing,
You know
it's
what?
a little bit more reasonable.
That 110 drum was amazing.
How many jams per drum?
I mean, was that was in the? Are we talking the GSG 16? I rarely had jams in that thing.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I tried one.
I was talking about it at work today. It's really funny. Another guy I work with had bought a GSG 16 not long before the ban, and was like, "Yeah, it's too bad you didn't get the drum. That thing was fun."
Yeah.
The drums are always on sale these days.
Yeah, wonder why.
There's no demand for them. Oops.
The guns are banned. New for Canada, Tactical Imports introducing the FS Pro
Oh,
Axor Arms shotgun.
That still looks like a normal gun. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling.
yeah.
Wait, what?
It's a folder.
What is going on with those shotgun holders? What the fuck are they thinking about?
That's not a.
That's remove them. Get
Yep.
that nonsense out of there. I do not like. Oh,
No,
the one on the side, fantastic. I love it. These are like
Yeah,
no.
I don't understand.
Well,
They
'cause
need the
okay,
Mossberg speed stock.
Let's say
That
you're
one holds
holding it up.
better.
Let's say
Yeah.
you move it down past your body or something like that. You're going
Now
to
you're
swipe
reaching
those
back.
rounds off. And if those rounds aren't on there, they're just going to catch on your clothes and stuff.
Yeah, and 100%. Everything about that's wrong.
I have a devil's advocate argument for it. You're not supposed to have them when you're using it, but you have it when it's folded up. So you have 2 shots on the gun, ready to go. So you unfold it and then you load them right away.
That's
For ducks and geese, right? That's why you have
Sure.
3. Well, 3 is max for waterfowl, so that's all you need. Now, this thing would hold more.
yes,
Yeah.
lots more. Those clips are the dumbest thing.
No, they just make me mad.
Yep.
I don't mind a cheek
Cheek
riser.
riser.
Okay, so I guess if you're going to run a red dot, yes, a cheek riser is a good idea. It looks inexpensive, but I like it. I like the fact that it folds in half. That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't want things that fold
So
in
is this-
half. I'm sorry.
It's semi or
Yeah. Looks like it.
It's a
Yes.
break action semi-automatic. You should buy.
it's a semi-auto folder. Yeah.
You are not the right person to ask. Like Dave from Foothills Firearm Training should get one
It's
of
only
these.
$5.99.
Okay, that's
Oh,
now that
someone's getting
becomes
one.
interesting, right? Yeah, I do want to. You know what, Adriel? Can you buy it and just do like a burn down test? Like, can you just make it shoot until it stops functioning?
Are you gonna fund my crates of ammo? That sounds like an expensive proposition.
I will drive up
Or
there, hand
not.
deliver ammo, and camp, and we're gonna go destroy that gun. I'm in.
I mean, I like the coloring.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
actually
even
got a
the-
good look to it.
The
heat
vent
shield.
rib on the top there, the heat
Yeah.
shield. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
heat shield.
Ooh,
take
Kyle
it, you-
approved. No barrel clamp.
Mhm.
No, I did. I actually.
I
did
mean, you're
that.
not gonna be able to
That's-
do any port work to that, but
No.
No, there's going to be nothing left of the receiver if you do.
Yeah, I mean,
No, that's-
and you
it's cool.
for
The
600
latch
bucks.
there must be a latch
yeah.
on the top, right?
Yeah.
There must be a latch on the top to close it up.
Honestly, like for 600 bucks as a like throw it in the back of the truck when you're gonna go camping gun, that's actually.
Yeah, what is that?
We have the right
Barrel?
thing for you later. Dustin, just wait.
Oh really? Oh.
Length folded is 26
26
inches.
inches.
I might be able to fit that in my motorbike. That's a 20-inch barrel on there.
20-inch. Okay.
This
Okay.
is gonna be his new
Buy it.
grouse gun.
Buy it. Do the review.
It's a like my current grouse gun is either a folding 410 or a folding 12 gauge. They both fit, but that one would fit, and this one's semi-auto. I don't really.
And then
need
you
to shoot
can-
grouse semi-auto though.
Well, what if you see a bear? You gotta kill it.
Yeah, you gotta kill it dead.
Yeah.
I'll just die.
Do 2 quad loads?
Well, if you do buy it, let us know. Let us know how it runs.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Northern Elite Firearms have some Pedersoli pedo. We're just gonna call them pedo guns. No, maybe not.
No.
The Italian people are going to be so mad.
Okay, Peter file guns. No,
And
Peter stole.
Yeah,
and we're
that might have
already
made it
taken off.
worse.
Yeah, that's YouTube will delete us for that.
I didn't say any of the naughty words. I don't think. Well,
That
actually,
is close enough to the naughty word.
we'll find out. Yeah. Anyways, they got some
Divide.
lever guns in 30-30, right around $2,000
You know,
or more. 35.
What's special about it?
I don't
I
know,
saw it's
man.
always just called a pedasoli. I don't think it was the divide, like the David part, the divide part.
I've
that-
never seen the David part on there. No.
I
so I
love
gotta
how
know, like, sorry, go
the
ahead.
synthetic stock is more expensive than the wood stock.
I was just gonna comment on that. Like,
Maybe they have to tap the forehand for the Picatinny rail. That's why it's more expensive.
Well, that one's
yeah,
got
it
an
costs $1,000
octagonal
to do
barrel
that.
on it. This one's octagonal, that barrel. That one's round. This one's round down here. I don't see why like the brown Cerakote and the synthetic stock is that much more.
so are these just the lack of freedom prices? Like, are lever guns costing this because we live somewhere that, you know?
No. They're just
No,
expensive
they're just
everywhere now.
expensive. Yeah, I think they're
Just ask
expensive
Kyle.
everywhere.
It's like I think lots of people say it's because of the Yellowstone film.
Oh yeah,
TV
I can
show.
understand that. Yeah, the whole cowboy thing.
Yeah,
I get it.
So
So the better reason is that everyone who had a lever for the longest time were upgrading to bolt action rifles.
Right.
So the used market had a ton of them and there was no demand for them. So people stopped making them. And the only
Right.
people who were left over were people who were making them for a lot of money. You think about Mossberg with their 4.64, which when they came out, like it was a very inexpensive gun,
$500. Yeah.
but it couldn't compete with the used market.
Yeah.
Now, slowly, people started buying those things up. Everyone got their bolt action hunting rifle and they started buying back those levers. And now the demand is really high, but there's no one like making them for cheap. So
Right.
that's why, who do we have making them right now? Ruger,
Rossi
Ross-
Heritage
in
Group.
Brazil are
Brazil.
$1,000
Yeah.
plus.
Yeah.
There's a
those Turk ones,
few new
those Turkish ones are always
Turkish. Yeah.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Henry, Ruger Marlin.
Way up there.
Smith & Wesson just went into the game
And
not
it's
too
also
long ago.
super expensive.
Yeah,
it's like
Grand
$500.
5 or more than that. Yeah.
Anywho. Oh yeah, I think we talked about this one before. Yeah, we talked about this one before.
Whoa, wait, hang on a second.
It's little
I don't
5.7.
think I don't remember, but maybe.
Maybe you weren't on.
No.
They have one in 9mm. I would want one in 9mm because 5.7, like I don't have any of that stuff. But
Right.
9mm? 9mm.
Yeah, 9mm would be interesting.
Yeah. Teeny tiny little non-restricted gun. Single shot.
What has the world come to?
Winchester Supreme THSX.
Ooh.
Hey? 50
Price to sell?
millimeter. That looks kind of similar to the one I
This is
have.
in the States for now, though.
Yeah,
That looks like.
it's
I wonder what
only,
the specs are here.
only 3K USD.
Yeah.
Display resolution 1280 by 720. Yeah. 50 millimeter. Hey, mine comes with a 50 millimeter lens too.
Rebranded, eh?
Maybe.
It is a Winchester, though. So
Winchester
I don't know if
rebrands everything though.
That's
They
true.
don't,
You know,
they don't
they-
make anything. All
That's
their
like
stuff
one of the
is
first names you think of in thermals.
Winchester.
Yeah, that's
Really?
that's where my head goes when I hear Winchester.
That's all the tier 1 operators use.
Yeah, true.
Winchester ARs, Winchester thermals, Winchester red dots. Anyways, let's keep going here. Rangeview Sports has some Rock Island Armory TM22 feathers. There was a time when these things were going for $200 US. I don't know why they're so expensive right now.
Because it
on sale.
looks cool.
Looks
I don't
looks like it's ready to be banned.
Looks
Yeah.
like something. Yeah, I
Looks
don't know.
like assault style. What's the term? Assault style weapon? Sure, let's go with that.
I don't know. This looks like kind of like if you squint your eyes, it kind of looks like an AR. But then I bet you when you pick one up, you're like, ah.
I'm going without even picking it up. So.
Yeah. Oh, I already did the Pedersolis. That's our new gun stuff. Why don't we get into the main topic?
Let's do it.
And for the main topic, I wanted to talk about gun cleaning, and it's for a selfish reason. because I'm developing a course on it, and I want some feedback, and I want to steal your guys' best ideas and put them into the course.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Love it.
I will start with a little presentation, and then you guys can tell me what. Okay, so for the presentation, I don't want to like make it in depth. I just want to cover the basic stuff and then get to the gun cleaning. I want to make this course like 2 hours, and most of it, I want people cleaning their own guns. The goal from this would be, there's a lot of like, I actually got this idea from people who are doing the PAL course, being like, hey, I got these old guns, and they're really like, who do I pay to like clean these things? And it's like, well, you could pay a gunsmith. I don't know what like $100 a gun, something like that, or I could show you how to do it. So that's the whole idea here. Is I want to be able to show people how to do basic cleaning on their guns, not detailed strip, just like field cleaning. You take the bolt out, you scrub the bolt, that kind of thing, get it back up and running. So without all that prep there behind, oh, I can go full screen. Wow, ooh, look at that. Oh, and I can do a slideshow and everything. I'm going to give you guys the shorter version of this. It's like no ammo in class. We might use some dummies and that kind of thing, but I'm going to shake people down and whatnot to make sure that they don't have any ammo, because there will be their guns in the class and they're not going to be disabled. So I need to maintain some sort of safety, right? And you can't really maintain safe directions when you're cleaning guns. They're going to be pointing at you or the person next to them or whatever. So there's no way around this. There is no way around this. You have to be able to move those guns around to clean them. Keep them cased. So for this first presentation bit, everyone's guns just stay cased away. I don't want them messing around with it. I want them just listening. Keep your work area tidy. I'm going to put newspapers out. Mini trash bins. So I was watching the MDT video on their cleaning, and he puts a little trash bin, and we pokes the patch through the gun barrel and just drops straight into the trash can. It's like, oh, if I got
That's
little
cool.
ones and I put them on like everyone's desk, they could just push through the patches and put them straight into the mini trash bins. And then, the lead shavings and powder and all that kind of stuff can just fall into a trash bin. I don't have to deal with it, right? At the end of this presentation, I'll just inspect like all the guns, make sure that they're unloaded, and that they don't have any ammunition in their cases or anything like that. Background, framing it, why clean the gun, prevent rust and jams and all that kind of stuff. That's a real bolt.
I love the picture.
Restore accuracy.
buff
If,
out.
it's bad. What's that?
It'll buff out. It's fine.
It'll buff out. Yeah, it did. Yeah, looks good. It looks good now. Prevent jam, rust and corrosion, restore accuracy, make the action smoother, and then prevent damage if it's really jammed up and you manhandle it or whatever, you might wreck it. Just some general cleaning tips. Don't damage the crown, the tippy top of the end of the muzzle. So push back to front. Don't break gun parts. If it doesn't go, don't force it. And then good prep helps prevent accidental scratches and damage. What I want to make sure of is that no one like wrecks their gun in this class. So prep it really, like take your time, put the mats down. Don't just beat on it. You're going to wreck it, right?
Yeah, I would add on there, not necessarily just because if you don't force it. Some stuff like a punch, you're gonna like everyone's level of force is different. I would just know what you need to do to take it apart.
Okay, I got a disassembly slide, so maybe we'll add that to that one. Yeah. Just some, again, more general, like scrub and clean the inside of the barrel, loosen and remove carbon, dirt, old grease, and that kind of thing. Get in the nooks and crannies, and then clean with the least abrasive tool to do the job. So if plastic works, use plastic. If you have to absolutely use metal, use brass or something like that, right? If you're going to use steel on steel, that's when you're going to start getting scratches and that kind of thing. There's some examples of some different cleaning tools. I'll have some available, but in general, I'm just going to talk about why you'd use some of these things and when you wouldn't want to use them and that kind of thing, right? So pipe cleaners and jags and mops and all that kind of stuff. I'll just have examples there. Different kits that you can use. There's pull-throughs, there's your bore snakes and that kind of thing. They're compact. They're not really good for heavy-duty cleaning, but they're really compact and easy to use. And if you need to clean a gun from the back, you can do that as well, which I realize I could say for cleaning guns. For guns, you can't clean from the back. And then you got your rod-based ones. These are better for heavy-duty cleaning, and these are best for ones that can be cleaned from the back. Some different solvents and oils. I'm mainly just going to like riff on this. CLPs, greases, carbon solvents, and the different solvents you can get out there. I have all of those ones that are available on the screen there. Carbon, copper, lead, and powder. Or at least purport to do that.
Right.
Talk a little bit about like dual CLP. Like if you're just doing minor cleaning, I think a CLP is all a regular like hunter should really need. They're not going to need to do like carbon remover. They're not going to need to use carbon like or copper remover or any of that kind of stuff. They're not going to see the volume of rounds to ever need it. So a CLP would probably be the easiest thing to use, and then you don't have to have a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But these are a jack of all trades, master of none. They're just good for okay at everything. There's some other general non-gun cleaners. So I've got examples up here that are bad examples on purpose. Like,
Yes.
we showed the gun cleaners. We've got soap and water can be used for some stuff, but it really like you shouldn't really need to use it for a lot of the cleaning that we're going to do. Yeah, there's some household cleaners out there. Brake cleaner, Roncinol, acetone. Really got to think about what this is going to do to whatever part you're cleaning.
Or put isopropyl alcohol on it.
So should I not put Simple Green on all of my guns?
Some guys do. Some guys like to use Simple Green or 409 and that kind of thing, or Spray 9. Yeah,
No.
I saw examples of it. But really, do you need to use like diesel or gas or acetone or something like that? Or will a less aggressive one work and be less risky to hurt the finish or the plastic or the stock? I know like with Brake Clean, if you spray that on plastic, sometimes it'll like white the plastic out. It'll make it look different. So it's not going to be the best for that. And it's not great for some of the other parts that you're going to get in contact with as well. But it can work if you need that aggressiveness. There's some specialty cleaners. I don't really think you need these for most of the times. Black powder, like, yeah, there's solvents you can use, or just use hot water.
I have a couple of them.
Lubricate and protect. These are things that you can just use for, so we're done our cleaning. Now you can lubricate it. Generally, though, just like a light machine oil is all you really need. You only really need grease on some guns and some use cases. The Garand, for example, the cam area there needs grease, but a lot of other guns, they don't need it. And just regular oil is fine. And it's easier to clean and keep clean and that kind of thing.
Can you do a slide that is do not use water-based lubrication and then put a different image of gun oil on just for funsies for me?
I don't know. I watched a video series where someone did it with a Glock and it seemed to work just fine.
Oh my God.
What do we oil? Any surfaces that see wear? The outside of new barrels to prevent rust. So when you get a brand new gun, especially a shotgun, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
a lot of those need that like really light coating on the outside to prevent rust. Too much oil collects carbon and dirt, so make sure you clean it off, and then grease only on high stress surfaces. Then we talk about disassembling the gun. You don't need to fully disassemble it; just remove the bolt, our bolt face, our extractor groove, and the ejector, the barrel. Especially the chamber, feed ramp, any kind of moving parts, that kind of thing. And then that's it. I would get into a demo of just removing a bolt. Let me go back to demo removing the bolt, demo scrubbing, like putting a couple patches and brush and patches through. And that's it.
I would put an emphasis on, if you can, always clean the gun from the chamber end to the same direction where the bullet is going. That I didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a personal note, because that I didn't pick up at the very first. I don't think I wrecked my first rifle by doing that, but
No.
like that's a thing now I put an emphasis on. Like all the friends that who new guns, like if you can, like here's how you take the bolt out. It's easier that way. Second, you can't wreck things that way. So
yeah. Okay, yeah, I just added that. Clean from the back of the barrel to the front. Anything else you guys would add?
I mean, I clean so meticulously. You've definitely gone, you covered all the bases for me. Like, I don't know. I go crazier than that every time I start cleaning a gun. The one thing I would say, when you're would you maybe touch on? You kind of did with like oiling the barrel, but like when I'm going to put a gun away for a bit, I do like to just give it just a little light dusting of oil on a like a microfiber, just to fog it. Like that might be something to talk about.
What do we oil if we're storing a gun for long term? The whole thing.
Yep.
Buy stocks and Cosmoline. No.
You can get spray Cosmoline from Amazon. I have some.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you should send me the link to that.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Remind me after the show.
Will do.
But the reason why I like Ballistol is if I am not touching a gun for a while, I spray it the heck down. Ballistol is not very like it congeals and it gets kind of like a jelly if you overspray. But on a gun that I'm storing for long term, I don't really care about. That's fine if it does that, right?
Yeah.
And that'll just let it stay protected for longer.
What's all
Since
that
you brought
PVC
up
pipe you have down there?
plastic bags.
Oh,
Since you
Dustin, no, unrelated to PVC pipe, but remind me to talk to you after the show. I got something I got to talk about.
Okay.
Since you brought up Ballistol, I want to talk about. This is always a fear of mine, but Ballistol kind of solved it. Is how safe your oil is for your wood stocks. So
Yes, actually.
Ballistol is very good for that because it was designed to be like the original CLP, and it kind of is that. I found it to be quite good on wood. I guess maybe talk about how to clean the wood stocks too. I know it's not as common these days, but I was kind of very scared. Was my first Henry lever gun because it had wood stock on it. I was like,
Also,
what do I do now? I can't just like put isopropyl alcohol on it. So that's the thing. Also, Ballistol come with not spray bottles. So that's I found I use them on a rag more than I do use them as a spray. So
I do
I
both.
spray onto the rag most of the time. Maybe if you wanted to again touch on for your lube selection, just thinking about temperature again. It's Canada, certain lube going to be a little bit more like it just comes down to like read what you're buying and think about the application, right? Maybe don't use frog lube on something if you're going to be out in -30.
Good point. I mean, like you guys just saw me prep my guns for a match this weekend. I ran the bore snake through 2 times, or maybe 3 times, and then I scrubbed the action without disassembling the gun at all. And I put a little bit of grease and a little bit of oil on the rails.
So by my standards, you didn't clean it.
yeah, no, bolted for sure. The bolt is coming out. I shoot too much PCC. The bolt is coming out for sure.
Well, on a 22, that's a pain in the ass. Your A22 is
A22 is good for that. That's why I like the A22 for that.
Yeah,
That's why I want a top opening 1022. I'm gonna take the bolt out every time.
That would be nice.
Kyle, you had some comments to add on?
Yeah, more on the tools. Make sure that whatever tool you are buying, like whether the pick or scraper, is of a softer metal than your firearm and what you're going to be cleaning, and be really careful about gouging and whatnot.
Yeah, there's actually polymer picks, so I might bring some of those, some like plastic or metal.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's what I use.
I use metal. I don't have time to use plastic. Yeah,
metal ones, but just extremely careful. Like not mechanics picks, but like actual dental picks.
I have some of those too, but like 95% of the time, my polymer. Every once in a while, there'll be something that's really on there. I'm like, okay, we'll use metal, but
if I'm really scraping, I pick up one of the brass little scrapers that come with most cleaning kits.
Yeah,
I like my dental pick is what I use most of the time because well, even with 22s, like the barrel face gets a bunch of crud on it eventually, and that will cause the bolt. It won't let the bolt go all the way home at some point. So to scrape that stuff off, I don't want to get it done. I use the metal one on it, and I just scrape it off.
That's fair.
That's because I'm lazy.
Another 2 things I want to brought up is first YouTube University. So if off a particular gun, you want to, especially more older, more complicated guns, you want to search on YouTube. The Hunting Gear guy I've heard is a very good source on that.
Yeah, I love watching that guy.
Yeah. There's also Gun Academy by the Pew Pew Life, I think. Brownells have some too.
Brownells has tons.
So it depends on your make and model. You want to at least get a. It's easier this way, so you learn it before you start, so you don't lose parts, springs eject. So maybe also when you're like taking springy parts apart, maybe you want to cover it a little bit. This is, I think, maybe more
Brownells. Where else did you mention there?
Everything on YouTube, basically.
The pew pew life. They're yeah. Honestly, yeah. Like if you just do a slide that's like do your research before you start. Like watching a video one time and just how that gun comes apart can be massively useful, right?
Beforehand and have it ready, like loaded
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
If you're going
Well-
on a mountain trip, I would suggest you have it download on your phone.
No, yeah.
Well, I really like that part where, like I had mentioned before, where you said don't force it, because I have actually had to work on a gun that they took it to a gun shop, and the guy, oh, it's not going, so he grabbed a pair of pliers and just ripped on it, like the
Ooh.
safety on a CZ, and I'm like,
No.
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
No.
new part. Jeez. Oh.
so
Yeah. I got some comments here. Content's good for basic cleaning. Yeah, that's what it's for. Separate advanced course cover deep cleaning, use of a bore scope, full disassembly. Ooh, sounds risky. Maybe when I
Sounds
maybe
too much work.
after I've done a couple of these and I feel a little bit more safe with it, then I'll do the deep clean stuff. The thing I don't want to do is have someone like, there's a couple of lever
Bring a really
actions where
weird gun.
if you take them apart to clean
Yeah.
them, like, oh my God, they're such a pain to get back together. And sometimes that could take me an hour or two just by myself, right? Never mind with a student or multiple students, right?
oh yeah,
So-
like I'm doing a deep clean on a pistol. It's at least an hour minimum, and like you get like something like a SIG 226. There's over 100 parts on that thing to take apart.
Yeah, some of them are under tension too.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
did
I need
that
to bring one of those sweeper magnets. We need to find a detent.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Well, again, and that comes back down to like just watch how this gun comes apart once, because there's some revolvers too. There was one I took apart for a buddy that there's some bits that can be a challenge. Yeah, but no, like that. It feels like you've got it all covered.
Another thing is, I think that was exclusively me problem because my first gun was a shotgun. They might want to have a bench block and they might want to have a punch just
So
to
I'll,
take the trigger
I'll be
group out.
providing all that stuff.
So-
I'm gonna give them 2x4s wrapped in carpet with holes in them.
Oh,
That'll be their bench blocks. Because I'm not buying a bunch of those avid, real avid ones. So I'm just
You
gonna
can also
get some
print them.
2x4s. I could,
Ooh, yeah. Is
but at the end of the day, I could take the 2x4 and drill a hole in it, and it's also done. That's like 3D printing, but faster.
Yeah.
it's
more
well,
durable.
it's not 3D printing because you're removing
3D
so it's
removing. from
3D.
the wood.
Yeah,
It's just manual routing, right?
it's wood milling. So
It's a removative
Subtractive process.
Yeah, subtractive process. Yeah.
oh god.
Yeah. So I've also been adding like the stuff that I'd take to this thing. It's like giveaways. Everyone gets a pair of gloves and that kind of thing. Cheap toothbrush. I'm going to bring. Everyone gets a toothbrush at the end of the day that is going to be not for teeth,
Yeah.
but
Highlight,
Ballastol?
don't use it for your teeth.
yeah, I can get cans of Ballastol for $10.
Yeah,
It's a small
that's great.
can. It's this one, right?
Yep.
I think that'll be fine because then at the end of the day, they have a skin safe. I know Ballastol is not the best lubricant, and it's definitely not the best cleaner.
But it's really safe.
But it's very safe, yeah. And I think that's like I don't know. You can't hurt yourself with it. You can't really hurt the gun with it. So I like that that's a very safe option.
Oh, one thing that just I don't know. This is me and Mr. PPE, but recommending some safety glasses. I don't
Sure.
know.
They can bring their own. They're gonna have it. They're gonna
Bring
yeah,
their
just
shooting
as
glasses.
a like recommended kit, maybe. I don't know. I just a lot of the time when I'm playing with solvents and stuff, I actually like to have safety glasses on because you only got that one set of eyes. They only give you the one set.
I never wear safety glasses when I clean a gun.
Yeah, well, some of us are cooler than others, huh? Like,
I don't either, but
yeah,
I do
well,
wear.
But we have regular glasses. So.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a bore light, one of those little J-bore lights that you get. Yeah.
those are great.
And then you can take a look and see if the inside of the barrel is clean or not, right?
Yeah.
Some consumables I'll have paper towel, patches, newspaper, microfiber towels, pipe cleaners, all that kind of stuff.
I know
And
you
then-
were gonna. Oh,
Mhm.
sorry. Just when you're recommending newspaper for this, but just a thought for folks if they're going to clean guns more often, maybe recommending like a towel. I have a gun cleaning towel that I like to set down just because it's like a little extra barrier against anything hard. Just a thought, I don't know.
I personally use like a big
gun cleaning mat.
a big mat,
Yeah.
just because it's easier to clean at the end of the day.
Right.
This is the stuff that I'm bringing. This is not
Yes.
like this a slide
yeah,
up and show them, right?
Fair,
For myself, like I think I need to bring a portable vise because some pins are going to be kind of a pain in the ass to get out. So I think I'm going to need to bring a vise for that. Bench blocks, those 2x4s.
Yeah.
Big hammer, plastic face hammers, like some soft stuff, some hard stuff, a whole shitload of punches, board guides. I'm going to be bringing some of those along.
Mhm.
I never use one, but I think, do you guys use board guides when you clean your guns?
Never.
I have in the past, but no.
I don't either, but I'm gonna pick one up and see if I like it or not. I mean, just to have some for people to borrow, I think is fine. I could say like you don't really need this, but it's a good idea if you want to like keep the inside of your action clean or whatever. Cleaning rods, I'll bring a whole heck ton of those. Drill, that's in case we get someone with a really leaded or plasticed up shotgun barrel, so they can actually clean that thing. Because if they just do the back to front, unscrew the thing, screw it back over here, back to front, they'll never clean those shotgun barrels out. It'll take forever. Some spray oils, oil with a needle dispenser. That's for like getting in the little nooks and crannies where you don't want overspray. Some cold blue, I think, would be really nice if anyone like marks up their gun. Just be like, okay, don't worry about it. Oh, it disappeared. There, you don't have to look at it again. It's not a very good finish. Keep it oiled. But at least it'll fix some of the boo-boos.
Yep.
Air duster just for like some nooks and crannies again. I've got like a small one that's pretty high power, and then ultrasonic cleaner. I'm a maybe on this one. I don't know if I really want to have it as an option.
No,
because that bolt that I showed you at the start there.
Mm-hmm.
Getting on the inside of this thing, total pain in the dick. Just put it in the ultrasonic cleaner and wait 10 minutes and you're done.
Fair.
You gotta be careful with the ultrasonic cleaner though.
Well, because if you
it'll
oil it
some
afterwards,
finishes and
well, it won't wreck finishes on its own because it's just water. So I haven't found that it wrecks finishes on its own.
It depends on what you're putting it in there for.
Yes,
for
with your cleaner. Yeah, if you put it like I really like using. Usually I just put pure metal parts in there, nothing else. I'll use gas or diesel or something like that. And boy, those eat the shit off of it. Like when you put that in the ultrasonic, I usually put it in a jar or something like that so it doesn't like foul up the cleaner. But that will get after it in a big way.
I've never put gas in ultrasonic. That's
no, I don't put in the ultrasonic has water in it, but I'll take the other sacrificial container, put gas or diesel in it, put that in there, and then stick the whole container in the ultrasonic. The ultrasonic goes through the container and still gets at it.
Right. That makes sense.
And the gas or diesel or whatever horrible cleaner I have available at hand really helps speed along the process. I'm a very impatient man.
Clearly. Well, you've also encountered some really bad, filthy guns. My God.
Yeah.
It's caught cheap and secondhand
or free.
Free.
Neglected guns. Like I've seen some super dirty guns on set, right? Because like blanks are so dirty. It's like firing hundreds of rounds every time you pull the trigger, but it's not that bad. That bolt was horrifying.
Well, that one was used for hunting, like way back in the day, duck hunting, and it's kind of rough right now. Put more oil on it. Kind of rough. Put some more grease on it, and just keep adding more and more and more, and that's what you end up with, right?
What could possibly go wrong? Yeah.
Anywho, well, thanks guys for the feedback and all that kind of stuff. Really appreciate it. And for the comment for listeners, if you have anything that you wanted to add on there, I'm all ears. Send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Coming on down here, listener feedback. Do we have any emails? I didn't
just look. Looking. No, we don't.
Okay, cool. YouTube comments. Tony, you want to take those?
You bet. I see Eddie doing a few comments here. Kyle, you have a cool boss. I wish I had one. As for tight group, subsonic 223 loads was only up to 5 grains in a case. He might need a wad or filler to keep the powder near the primer flash hole. Also, a subsonic 223 is pretty much subsonic 22 LR. He could shoot the Aguila Sniper Subsonic 60 grain round suppressed for almost the same effect. Hickoff 45 showed something similar in videos many years ago. If you want to shoot a suppressed 22 cal in his AR, the CMMG 22 LR upper was the threaded barrel could be an option. Then he don't have to do any load development. Although the counter argument to you, Eddie, is he could load some 90 grain stuff, which is 50% heavier in 223. So there are some. Do you get a little bit more leeway? I want to say was just a little bit more target energy on target, I guess.
Yeah, depending on what you're doing, right? If you want energy on target, great. If you want to cycle the gun, good luck.
Tony, regarding the without warning brake, I would think barrel tuner brakes are made for center fire rifles. It wouldn't make much sense to have a brake on rimfires, although we know some people have done it. The term self-timing brake is misleading and confusing. I feel a better name would have been a multi-timable brake. Okay. No, don't get the 300 ROM. It's obsolete. You should buy a 300 PRC or a 300 normal mag. You can't push me to get a normal mag. You need those so trendy hipster hotness long, heavy for caliber, high BC bullets in a fast twist barrel to be cool. Even if you can only shoot up to 200 yards at your range. Yeah, exactly, 200 yards. If I'm moving up in that way, I might as well get a 330 Alapua. I would say that's just how I think about it, though. And the last comment from Eddie: you guys have talked about the Browning Marl on the show before, the MARAL, like maybe a couple of years ago, perhaps when it was introduced at a SHOT Show. It turns out to be a straight pull version of their BAR. Interesting.
Oh,
I guess
I just like it even more.
How do you straight pull version of their BAR?
So we took the semi-auto and we make it.
We made it less.
But then it doesn't have the maybe it doesn't have the pivot because of that. Interesting. That's all the YouTube comments I get. I don't think I missed anything. Yep.
Neat.
Cool.
All right. If you'd like to email the show, send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Shoutouts, recommendations for anyone?
I'm gonna give a shout out to Runko because he's on fire right now. He published like 3 videos in the last week talking about some interesting, like his gun collection, and some very serious topic like how the government is planning to spy on us.
Yeah, C2.
Feel like I'm back in China. So go check out his channel, Runko of the Bailey, and I'm expecting to see him at the match again. So.
But you won't.
Nice. Aw, what? Already?
Yeah. Kyle?
Just shout out to everyone that came out to the match on Saturday. Helped set up and tear down. It went really good. And yeah, we had a bunch of new people to the club out there, so it was good.
I shout out to all the guys from Rimfire Madness and gals. It's gonna be a great match. I'm gonna have to do very little work. Everyone's just gonna pitch in. It's gonna be great. Dustin,
I have 2 shout outs. One, I would love to shout out to the folks at the ATF who sent me my documentation that I've been waiting so long for. I think some people went on vacation. And shout out to the local 3-gun crew out here. Please schedule a match that I am in the country for.
It sounds like you need to check schedules and plan your trips better.
No, they need to quit putting the schedule out for the match the week before the match while I'm out of the country. That would be great.
Fair enough.
Neat. All right.
Yeah.
We did have a Facebook comment here from Sean.
Yeah.
Says, I'm torn every Wednesday. Rimfire Nation has been streaming at the same time as you guys. Maybe you guys could have a shoot off for the time slot.
Only if I get to pick the event.
Yes. Yeah.
Three gun.
I'll shoot against Rick in 3-gun. I don't want to compete against him in PRS or Rimfire.
Yeah, I was gonna go with we
fair.
had the time
Well-
slot first, so
Yeah, can we borrow Bolivar for a rim? Like, can he shoot on our team? He's like honorary. He can shoot on our team, right? Yeah. All right.
Sometimes, yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Sounds like we need a charity shoot-off event again.
That'd be fun.
It's getting close. It's getting close to that time. Yeah. Archery, I guess, or RC cars.
No. Muzzle loaders only.
Clone racing.
Muzzle loaders. Yeah, I like the muzzle loader idea. Yeah. All right. Join our Discord server. Watch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Player. Join the CCFR, and we will see you next week.
see you next week.
Good night, Kelly.
Good night.
So if you have any comments or questions for the show, please send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Now go grab a gun and shoot something.
When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.